The 8th edition of Iran's International Film Festival kicked off today here in Algeria. Third meeting of the Inter-Libyan dialogue bringing together feuding Libyan parties resumes here in Algeria. In Yemen, approximately 20 Houthi rebels were killed in a coalition airstrike in Aden on Wednesday morning. Those were today's top stories. Thanks for joining us live on Dzair News. And as we mentioned in our headlines, up to 40 exhibitors are expected at the Arab Film Festival and Television Festival planned as part of the 8th Iran's International Film of Arab Media. Arab media outlets, producers and other operators in various areas of the large and small screens will take part in the exhibition starting today, Wednesday. In addition to that participation in the festival, the Arab countries have confirmed their participation at this exhibition to present their products, knowledge and technological advances. The participating countries are, in addition to Algeria, Tunisia, the United Arab Emirates, Lebanon, Egypt, Palestine, Iraq, Syria, as well as exhibitors from France. This international event aims at promoting the technological developments experienced by television channels and film production firms. It is also meant to be an opportunity to encourage young talents in the field and space to make contacts of business and cooperation between professionals. And now to the Al Khalifa case, where it has entered its third phase. The presiding judge, Antal Lamnour, has continued to closely listen to testimonies, waiting for what will be decided by the court after the end of the hearing sessions. Hence, Simina Ross has the details for us.
The case of the century begins its third chapter at Blida Criminal Court after having listened to more than 100 witnesses, paving the way for a new chapter. Now listening to testimonies from the numerous victims of the delusional Khalifa empire. The first phase wrapped up with testimonies from both current and previous ministers, like Mohammed Jalab, ex-minister of finance, and Abu Jarrah Sultani, president of Hams Party and ex-minister of labor. Other names were missed, counting ex-ministers of finance Medrisi, Tarbash, and Judi, along with Minister of Housing Abdelmajid Tebboune. The court judge merely read their hearing session records in front of the investigating judge. Previous and current heads of sports clubs have also given their testimonies, as well as other prominent figures, all related some way or another to the collapsed Khalifa empire. A new phase has started today at Blida Criminal Court, listening to the victims who would recall how they were tempted by the many offers and benefit percentage of Al Khalifa Bank and how they withdrew their funds from public banks and entrusted them into an rising bank.
The works of the third meeting of the Inter-Libyan dialogue, bringing together Libyan leaders, heads of political parties and activists, started on Wednesday here in Algiers under the sponsorship of the United Nations, in a new view of finding a political solution to the crisis in Libya. Nani Qasmi has the details.
The works of the third meeting of the Inter-Libyan dialogue, bringing together Libyan leaders, heads of political parties and activists, started Wednesday in Algiers under the aegis of the United Nations in view of finding a political solution to the crisis in Libya. The works opening ceremony was chaired by the Minister of Maghreb Affairs, the African Union and the Arab League, Abdelkader Sahel, in presence of the UN Special Envoy for Libya, Bernardo Leon.
Confrontation continues and deterioration continues if Libyans that are now suffering humanitarian problems, what will be the relevance of this draft number 20?
This third meeting in Algiers is part of Algeria's efforts to gather the Libyan parties around the dialogue table in order to reach a political solution to the political and security crisis in this country, aggravated by the existence of two governments and two parliaments fighting for power. In addition to the issues related to the creation of a national unity government, the participants will also, during 2 days, review the security arrangements as well as the latest development of the situation in Libya, added Ms. Sahel before this meeting. The participation in this meeting will be more consistent to the extent that new influential Libyan personalities on the field will join this new round, underlined the minister. The UN envoy for Libya, Bernardo Leon, said on Tuesday in Doha ahead of a new inter-Libyan dialogue round in Algiers that most groups in Libya now support a political solution, stressing that there is no military solution in this country. In Algiers, Minister of Maghreb Affairs, the African Union and the Arab League, Abdelkader Msahel, announced that a meeting of Libyan leaders, political party leaders and activists is to take place Wednesday and Thursday in Algiers as part of the inter-Libyan dialogue under the UN auspices.
Moving on to another matter now. Ooredoo Media Star 2015 competition awarded yesterday its winners during a grand ceremony. Witnesses the presence of 195 journalists as well as prominent figures. All the personalities from the media and cultural world have also been honored. Hintzman Ross has the full story.
In the presence of many guests and prominent figures with a record participation of 195 journalists, Ooredoo, the first mobile phone operator in Algeria, announced yesterday during a great ceremony the names of the journalist winners of Algerian Media Excellence Award and honoring prominent names in the media and culture milieu.
This important event in its 9th edition witnessed the participation of 195 participants. There were major works. As you've seen, the winners are really young from the National Radio, Ashruk TV, Nahar, and several other media outlets.
Ooredoo Media Star 2015 contest in its 9th edition summarized the best journalistic works in reportages, investigations, analytical articles, and press photos, as well as radio production and broadcasting that address topics related to the technologies of information and communication business, as well as the problems related to social, economic, and cultural uses, and its development in Algeria. And their development in Algeria.
The feeling of success is amazing. Thank God we have honored our channel and Nahar TV with this win. We thank our colleagues. I'm thrilled with this coronation in this year's edition of Ooredoo competition. The theme of Mrs. Nasima Belhaj from Radio 1 handled the issue of how electronic games affect pupils set to take exams.
Star Media Ceremony has become a significant event and a reference in the sector and a tradition since 2007. It also represents a liaison between the new generation of young journalists with enormous possibilities and the prominent media faces.
Moving on to our international news, and precisely in the Middle East, where according to US sources more than 10,000 IS terrorists have been killed since an international coalition began an offensive campaign against the group in Iraq and Syria. The same source also added that the campaign will end up having an impact, while warning that the terrorist group remains resilient and capable of taking the initiative. It is worth mentioning that international representatives back the Iraqi Prime Minister Haider al-Abadi's plan to retake the city of Ramadi. Moving on to Al Yemen, where approximately 20 Houthi rebels were killed in a coalition airstrike in Aden on Wednesday morning. Tensions continue to escalate in the south of the country as peace talks between the two parties planned in Geneva have been postponed. Maham Zahi has the details for us.
On Wednesday morning, Saudi-led airstrikes killed a group of around 20 Houthi fighters outside the Yemeni port city of Aden. The Houthis were killed when the air raid hit their military convoy as it was transporting an artillery piece towards the northwest suburbs of Aden. The death toll could not be independently verified. Residents in Aden complain of a worsening humanitarian situation as the Arab coalition has imposed a near blockade on food, fuel imports, and fighting has cut off the city. Electricity, water, and trash collection have lapsed during this conflict. Eyewitnesses also complained of airstrikes in the capital city of Sana'a. Houthi officials said that there were casualties in Sana'a, but gave no further details. Locals believe that the home of a Houthi leader was the target of the most recent insurgency. The Yemeni conflict is still some way from being resolved, though the incumbent de jure president Abd Mansour Hadi has agreed in principle to meeting the Shiite rebels in Geneva for peace talks. There is very little concrete on the table.
To another matter now. On Tuesday evening, FIFA President Sepp Blatter announced his plan to resign from office in the midst of humiliating corruption scandals. Blatter announced that a successor will be selected at an extraordinary elective Congress. Let's follow this report.
FIFA President Sepp Blatter shocked the footballing world when he unexpectedly announced his resignation Tuesday night at a press conference in Zurich. The 77-year-old Swiss football administrator has been president of the governing body since 1998, but his tenure has been mired by a series of corruption scandals. On May 27, 14 FIFA executives were indicted by the FBI on charges of wire fraud, racketeering, and money laundering. Blatter had recently been re-elected for a 5th consecutive term, so his decision to resign took many by surprise.
Bien que les membres de la FIFA m'aient conféré ce nouveau mandat,
while I have a mandate from the membership of FIFA, I don't feel that I have a mandate from the entire world of football. The fans, the players, the clubs, the people who live, breathe, and football as much as we all do at FIFA.
De tous ceux qui vivent, qui respirent et aiment le football, autant que nous tous à la FIFA.
On Wednesday, Interpol issued wanted person alerts for 2 former senior officials and 4 corporate executives. The FIFA president also announced a significant reform program to be headed by Domenico Scala, the independent chairman of the Audit and Compliance Committee. Blatter is to lay down his mandate, and FIFA are to announce new elections and extraordinary Congress to be announced in the near future.
Scientists successfully restarted experiments at the world's biggest particle collider on Wednesday after a 2-year shutdown and upgrade that allows it to smash together atoms with almost double the energy used in the first run. Let's follow this report.
Scientists successfully restarted experiments at the world's largest particle collider on Wednesday, following a 2-year shutdown and upgrade which allows it to smash together atoms with almost double the energy used in its first run. The European Organization for Nuclear Research, or CERN, said the Large Hadron Collider will now run around the clock for the next 3 years, producing vast amounts of data for scientists to scour. CERN's director, Rolf Heuer, said this: "We have seen the first data beginning to flow. Let's see what they will reveal to us about how our universe works." Collider underwent a $150 million upgrade after its first run, which produced results that helped confirm the existence of an elusive subatomic particle, the Higgs boson. Heuer said physicists hope the new run might lead to discoveries that could help explain remaining mysteries such as dark matter. The LHC, located in a 27-kilometer tunnel beneath the Swiss-French border, is now smashing together protons at 13 trillion electron volts.
Back to local news, and finally, away from football stadiums and other popular sports, Algerian extreme sport fans will be on time with the International Festival for Extreme Sports, due to be held here in Algeria from the 4th to the 6th of June in Riyadh Al Fath complex here in the capital Algiers. Oussama Snoussi was there and prepared the following report for us.
For the first time in Riyadh Al Fath Square, Algiers, extreme sports fans will have the opportunity to watch one of the most talented extreme sports groups, demo step varying from international champions to amateurs, striving for innovation in a number of performances.
On est très fiers d'organiser ce premier festival international du sport.
We're so proud for organizing this first edition of the International Festival of Extreme Sports in Algeria. It's an event for young people who practice these sports and who wanted to see an event like this in Algeria, and we are proud to give them that.
En Algérie, et puis voilà, on est très fiers de le présenter.
The event includes performances in different sports specialties, like Redline BMX bike race, flat floor and dirt floor bikes exhibition, as well as skateboarding and motocross freestyle. 150 competitors representing 15 countries will take part in the event.
C'est extraordinaire. Moi, je venais tout petit.
This event is extraordinary. I used to come play here when I was young, and today I'm here as an ambassador for this sport.
C'est un grand honneur pour moi.
C'est une grande première ici en Algérie.
This event is the first of its kind here in Algeria, and it's an international event, and today we're going to prove that Algeria is capable for organizing such events.
D'organiser des événements dignes de ce nom.
The event will also be an opportunity for Algerian amateurs such as Anglais and Lamine Fethi to interact with world champions in order to get experience and promote this kind of sport in Algeria.
L'importance du festival.
The importance of extreme sports in Algeria has been a priority for so many years. There are competitions all over the world, and I had the chance to travel and participate in different festivals around the world.
Je suis né en Algérie.
Before the kickoff of the event, organizers work day and night to provide the appropriate means for contestants and audiences who look forward to this event, expecting Algerian talents to fly high in Riyadh al-Fath Square sky.
And with these fancy moves from freestylers, we end today's news, brought to you from Dzair News Channel. Thank you for stopping by.